The goal of Cultivate is to strengthen this generation and grow the next into a deep, abiding relationship with Jesus Christ. We will invest $500,000 into gospel-centered initiatives in our local community, doing for some what we wish we could do for all. We are modernizing and expanding our children's facility to meet the growing need with over 10,000 additional square feet. We will develop a multi-use spiritual training and community center at Clovis and East, adjacent to more than 3,500 students at Buchanan High School.
Today we are in here for renovation dedication, and what that is we are asking everybody in the church to write scriptures that would speak of God's heart for the next generation.
We've got 0 through 5s building, our Sprouts and Sprigs, and people are just coming through and writing prayers and verses.
Basically, this room is for birth through preschool, so just those young kids that they would grow up at a very early age, have the seeds of the gospel planted in them, and that we could partner with these families in the discipleship of their kids.
So you asked, how do we partner with the home? How does a facility like this enable that? Well, from a programmatic level, it allows us to do a large group, small group, even down to the earliest ages. And what that allows for us to do is be intentional with our content and allow us to use and steward that 65 minutes the best we can so that the volume of the gospel here at church can be heightened to a whole nother level, utilizing the body of Christ, training them and developing them. And so a facility like what you see behind me, it allows for ministry to just happen in ways that it just couldn't before. And it was more challenging before. And so that's what really is an exciting thing about how we can partner with the home through a use of a brand new facility.
Well, we're really excited to be part of the dedication for the new kids wing, and it means a lot. We were in this space in the old building for the first couple years of my daughter's life, and now she's graduated to the new wing, and it's such a blessing to her and my son. When this opens, we'll get to have Sunday school in here.
I remember when this thing, like before it was this, and this is 5 times better than the old one. So it's just so cool that the church is giving us a chance to dedicate this building.
He got his Sharpie and he wrote on the wall, "What'd you write?"
Well, that's cool. That's cool. You excited, buddy?
You excited? Yeah.
There were a ton of children coming from their Sunday room classes, and they were coming in here with their families, and it was so sweet because as a family they were writing prayers and asking which room's ours, like which one am I going to be in. So they're already getting that ownership of their classroom, their place to worship, and they're getting really excited about it, which is really sweet.
Yeah, it's just cool just to see, like, as a soon-to-be dad and just soon-to-be parents, it's just cool to see just a couple parents just step out and lead and just really say, like, this is what we're about as a church, and we're gonna just pray and bless this building. So it's been cool to watch.
Praying over the 120 plus kids that'll be in this room, and all of the volunteers that'll fill each room, and all the more kids that we all keep making will be in this room.
So as you can see, it is an exciting time to be a part of the Well Community Church. For those of you who experienced it this last month, we did Discover Fresno, one of the greatest Discover Fresnos we've ever done, and really driven by Cultivate's heart of investing first fruits resources into some nonprofits in our community. And we've highlighted many of those in the past, but what you got to see is the real fruit of their labor as they educated us on the needs of our city, creating space for us to now do Serve Fresno starting on March 15th and running for a 2-week window to really emphasize what it means for us to be the church in our community. You also saw, of course, the dedication of our Fig Garden campus. So excited to see that Northern Kids Wing dedicated, where the students are in there writing scriptures on the walls and really presenting that as a place where the gospel can be presented to even the little ones as we move forward. And we're really excited to announce to you that that facility should be completed by the end of May. So we are literally weeks away from completing this renovation process, which leads us to the third and the largest phase of Cultivate, which is relocation. Now there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is we had a buyer queued up to purchase the North Campus, and unfortunately that buyer has backed out. But God, by His grace, in the midst of that, and in the midst of us processing that and praying through that, has provided another potential buyer. And so we are inviting you to be praying with us that we could continue to negotiate with this potential buyer and move this process along. What this sort of pause has done for us, though, has actually been a gift, because our elders have been able to sort of slow down, circle the wagons a little bit, and really think through this property from a master plan standpoint. Because honestly, we have the opportunity of doing it right one time. And so we just want to invite you to continue to pray with us as we see what the Lord has for us to try to complete not just first fruits and renovation, but also relocation as well.
These stories and many more just like them would not be a reality if it were not for your generosity. Are you a first-time giver? If you believe in what God is doing here and have yet to begin your recurring giving to the church, we invite you to start by supporting the ongoing and growing ministries at The Well. Are you ready to take the next step? Cultivate will require all of us to step out in faith, giving above and beyond to reach hundreds more for Christ. Consider pledging your Cultivate commitment today. Have you already committed to Cultivate? If you have pledged your Cultivate commitment, we invite you to continue to fulfill that commitment or consider an increase to make possible the most significant kingdom investment in the history of The Well and in the lives of the next generation. Here at The Well, we're helping people connect to God and to each other in every neighborhood.